On a cold night on March 1st, 1976, William Bradford Bishop disappeared after mercilessly slaughtering all 5 of his family members. He's still on the run to this day. Right now, we will look at these brutal, cold-blooded murders. William Bradford Bishop Jr. was born in Pasadena, California on August 1st, 1936. His childhood growing up is mostly unknown. He received his master's degree in International Studies and African Studies from Middlebury College. After he graduated, he married Annette Wells and got a job working in Army counterintelligence. Bishop is quite educated and speaks 5 different languages fluently. His final job was for the U.S. State Department, where he traveled all over the world for the U.S. Foreign Service. He was living in Bethesda, Maryland with his mother, wife, and his 3 children. During this time, he was a psychiatric patient and suffering from depression and insomnia. On the afternoon of March 1st, 1976, Bishop did not obtain the promotion he was anticipating. He told his secretary he didn't feel well and left early from work that day. According to the police, he then drove to the bank and withdrew several $100s from his account. Afterward, Bishop drove to the mall and purchased a ball-peen hammer, gas can, shovel, and pitchfork. As you might have guessed it, Bishop was not in the market for any lawn care or home improvement. He drove home around 7:30 or 8 p.m. Police believe the children were in bed at this time, and his wife was the first to die. His mother returned home from walking the family golden retriever, and she was next to die. After that, he went upstairs and brutally bludgeoned his children while they were sleeping. It is then believed he loaded up the bodies in his station wagon and drove over 200 miles to North Carolina, where he dumped the bodies in shallow holes and doused them with gasoline, and he set them on fire. He also dumped all of his murder tools there, which was later tracked to the hardware store where he bought them. His absence became known when the neighbors have not heard from them in a week, and called the police to check on them. When the detective entered the home, there was blood all over the walls, the ceiling, and the floor. The detective stated that in his 12 years as a police officer, it was the worst crime scene he'd ever observed. The officer also said that it was one of the most disturbing pieces of evidence were marks on the ceiling of the bedroom where the 2 boys were sleeping in bunk beds of the hammer swinging and hitting the ceiling. Bishop's car station wagon was found parked near the burnt bodies, but there was no sign of Bishop anywhere. Police theorized that Bishop had 1 week of time before the authorities began looking for him, and he could as easily have traveled with his U.S. diplomatic passport. Since 1976, there had been alleged sightings of the fugitive all over Europe, but to this day, his whereabouts are unknown. This is an age-progressive sculpture that shows what Bishop would have looked like now at age 79. He's been on the run for almost 40 years, and he is currently on FBI's top 10 most wanted list. His neighbors have stated that the family was a typical family, and they all looked very happy and normal together. That is pretty much all we know of him. That's it. His life is mostly unknown, and his disappearance still remains a great mystery and a great injustice. Thanks for watching. I'm Dom from Criminal Profiles.